Welcome into the Source to Say podcast, your go-to Kentucky basketball and recruiting podcast on the growing KSR Podcast Network, presented by Club Blue. Club Blue is the official collective partner of the University of Kentucky. We have a very, very special guest. We are excited to welcome 2025 top 30 prospect and one of the top point guards in the country, Acaden Lewis. Acaden, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's going on, Jack? How are you?
Oh, we're clearly not as big of a day for me as it is for you. Just what nerves, man? It's a big weekend for you as you have a very, very special announcement to make.
Yeah, man, just really excited. You know, it's been coming for a long time, figuring out what school I wanted to go to, going on my visits and everything. So just excited to finally, announce.
Well, you narrowed it down to three choices, three massive choices. I guess when it comes to the Blue Bloods, you have Kentucky, you have Duke, you have UConn. Just why, why the Blue Bloods? What was kind of the appeal there for kind of playing for the best of the best, no matter where you decide to go?
Yeah, I think my recruiter kind of picked up a little late. You know, a lot of it happened kind of this year. So as soon as the Blue Bloods kind of came in, I went on my visits and everything, like unofficials, and it was just different. Just the feeling, the fans, the brand, it was huge. And one thing about me, I've always liked playing on huge stages, just love big games. And at all three of the schools that were on my list, you get those games. So it was really attractive to me.
Well, let's run through those three real quick. Just what about those three schools individually kind of separated them from the pack?
Well, we start with Kentucky. I just really love Pope and his staff. Pope did a great job at BYU. He brought in Jason Hart. He played in the league for like a decade. On top of being Syracuse alumni, and Syracuse done really well by the DMV. And that was just really cool to me. Coach Brooks and Coach Fox is from this area, so the staff was really great, really memorable. They've done a lot, made me a priority. They've been here a lot for me. UConn, they kind of got in pretty early. The first time they ever saw me was actually like my 9th grade year, I want to say. I remember Hurley reached out to my dad because I was playing up. But yeah, Hurley and them, I just love their staff as well. Kamani was like my main recruiter. Kamani's a super good dude. He's been around for a while, super knowledgeable. Really feel like I can learn a lot from him. It's just good dude. And then Hurley's kind of like crazy, everybody says, but I enjoyed that crazy. Like he's kind of quirky, super cool dude. I really think, everyone knows what he's got going on is working for him. So, obviously that was attractive. And then Duke, Coach Shire and his staff did a really good job. Dildy was like my main recruiter. They stayed consistent. They were always talking to me. Came down to games, practice, and everything like that. So they did a good job recruiting. And I was just a fan of the brotherhood.
Well, three amazing choices, obviously, but there can only be one choice. Acaden, where will you be taking your talents next season?
I'll be committed to the University of Kentucky.
Man, massive news for Kentucky. Acaden joins Jasper Johnson and Malachi Moreno to give Kentucky 3 top 30 prospects in the class of 2025. Acaden, why Kentucky? What was the draw there, and kind of what helped Mark Pope close on one of the best point guards in high school basketball?
Like I talked about, the staff, like just super knowledgeable, a lot of league experience, and obviously that's the next level I want to get to. I think the opportunities just can't be taken for granted. Being a point guard at Kentucky is a huge deal. A lot of the guys are older, whether we're talking about Kerr, Lamont, so they won't be here next year, which leaves like a little bit of a gap for me to come in, really like run the team, and that was Pope's pitch basically. The visit was amazing. Not even outside of everything everyone's seen. Like Big Blue Madness was also super cool, community and everything. But we went over a lot of film. They showed me the stuff they see me doing next year, the stuff I'll be good at, stuff I need to work on. And I think it was just everything about them was super personal to me. It really felt like home. And I think it just made sense to me. Like I'm glad I waited out, went on all my visits, but it made sense.
What was the defining moment? What was the time where you said, "This is home. I got to be here"?
Honestly, I don't even know if it was one, but it was just like throughout the time. Every time I think about Pope, he's just always kind of been there. He's been to my barbershop. He's been to my rec center. He's been to my school. He's been full staff at my school, So, when you consistently stack stuff like that, it just shows that like I am the priority. I think he did a really good job. Another thing he's always done is like since the first day I met him, he's always like, so you're ready to commit. Like he would always do stuff like that. Or like when he offered me in his office, I remember he said, he was like, okay, cool. I think we got like 6 hours left in the visit. So you have a timer. And then he set a timer on his phone and everything. So, he's just super like outgoing, really like his personality. And then as a coach, I just think he's a great coach for me. Lets his point guards kind of run his team. Obviously, if he trusts you, he'll let you run his team. So, I think him and his staff were just right for me.
What was the reaction for him when you did tell him that he committed? Like, what did he do? We asked Jasper and Malachi both that same question. Malachi was on the floor of Rupp Arena, and Pope came over, gave him a big hug. I think Jasper, they traveled down to Atlanta to see him at OTE, kind of did the same thing. What was Pope's reaction when you told him?
Yeah, I wanted to tell him in person, but it just didn't really work out. But I called him, I FaceTimed him, and I just kind of like had a normal conversation with him first. Like, I didn't start off with like, I'm committing. So I called him. We talked for probably like 10 minutes. And then like I was like, all right, well, I'll catch you another time. And I was like about to hang up. I was like, oh, but I'm gonna commit too. And then he kind of started like yelling, running around the house, just like throwing his phone around. So it was kind of funny, to be honest.
Talk about those other two, Jasper, Malachi. You guys have obviously built a really long-standing relationship over the last several months, hanging out at different camps and playing alongside both of them. Just what was the draw for those two wanting to, as you mentioned in the past, only 4 guys likely committing in this class. Why did you want those two to be, 2 of your teammates?
Well, starting with Mal, because I kind of played with him first, MBPA camp, like he was the big, we didn't lose the game. And we kind of got cool there. And I saw him in numerous other events and stuff like that. Elite 24 was one. And he's just a cool dude. I like hanging out with Mal. We just kind of chop it up every once in a while. Still text now. And, like those camps are just a cool place to meet people, see how they act. And, he was in my room just hanging out a lot. So, he can hoop. Like Mal's tough, good hands, super long, athletic. So I think Mal's just a good piece. And the same thing with Jasper. Jasper, I only played with him once, but playing against him, a lot of respect to him. I think he gave us like 30, to be honest, when we played that. I think we both had a really good game. I think I had almost 32. So it was just like a respect thing. And then we got to kind of know each other. We played it at Formula Zero, Damian Lillard's camp. And honestly, like, it just worked. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if Kentucky got Jasper, they would stop going after me and stuff like that. But once we kind of played, we both told Pope, like, yeah, like I'd be interested in playing with the other guy. And it just kind of worked. We actually ended up winning that championship. So at least with Kentucky, I'm 2 for 2 on championships as of right now.
With plenty more to come, hopefully. Just the dynamic of 2 lefties in the backcourt, that's something that you don't see very often. Just what is that kind of unique dynamic going to be?
I think that's really cool. And we're both kind of like, I would say like weird a little bit. Like we move a little different. Like we're not like super conventional. I think he's a little more unconventional than I am, to be honest. I think he has some really weird wiggle to him, which is super cool. But yeah, 2 lefties just isn't seen much, especially at like the 1 and 2. Like that's not normal. So, I think it's just gonna be like a really weird dynamic to stop. Like it's hard to scout both of us, I would say.
Those are the 3. Then there's 4. You've been really, really outspoken about Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson has been very outspoken about recruiting you to wherever you were going to end up. Just where did that dynamic came from? Why has there been such an intrigue for both of you guys to play with one another? And what's next? Is Acaden Lewis going to put on his recruiting hat and bring Caleb Wilson home too?
I'm not as out about it as like Jasper and everybody else has been, but I text him a lot. I call him. Sometimes not even about Kentucky or basketball. Just he's one of the cooler dudes I've met just in this basketball stuff so far. So we've really just become friends. I met him at like CB3 camp. We ain't talked too much, and then we went to Slam, and he walked up to me because he's like I was like the first person to get a Slam. And then he walked up, he was second, and he's just like, yo, what's up? And like, first thing he said was like, I'm a big fan of your game. I was like, watched your film. And I was like, bro, who is like, this dude's a lottery pick. Like, this is kind of crazy. And it was just cool. Like, we got cool from there. I saw him again in the Mamba event. He wasn't even my roommate, but he was in my room more than my roommate, to be honest. So, we just got really cool since then. And definitely will be recruiting him, trying to get him to come over. But, I think he'll be great wherever he ends up.
What was the deal with the eye emojis and like the social media cryptic stuff that whole night? Like what was the behind? Like, were you guys toying with BBN the way like you knew that BBN was going to just go crazy over every single one of your all's little moves, or was that just kind of did it come organically?
I don't even know what it was, but I think he texted me. I think Jasper posted first, and then he texted me. I didn't even know he was going to do some of the comments he did. Sometimes he texts me, sometimes he just does it. But he's funny. Like, he's a funny dude, so like it's not surprising when he does stuff like that. But his interest is definitely genuine. I know that for a fact. At that point when we were doing that, though, neither of us knew where we were going. I had no clue at all, and neither does he. So, I think he did think it was kind of like funny, and so did I. So it was just playing around.
Is there anybody else that you're pushing to join U3, or is it pushing all your chips in on Caleb?
Probably just Caleb. I'm cool with Chris Senack as well. I don't know when he's making his decision. I haven't really talked to him about it as much. But yeah, I don't think I want the class to be super big anyway. I think I'd only recruit one more other person. I think Pope agrees with that. Like, I don't think he wants his class to be over 4. So gonna definitely talk to Caleb, try to get him over, and then that's about it for me.
Pope talks just every time he opens his mouth, talking about hanging banners, understanding the assignment. What are your all's expectations going into year 2 at Kentucky? Obviously, this roster dynamic is so much different than the one you guys are going to have next year. Just what are your all's individual expectations going into year 2 under Pope?
Obviously want everybody to shine, everybody to eat first. College is a big step, but a lot of us want to be pros as well. So want everybody to have good years. As the point guard, I think that's why Pope kind of brought me over, because I'm the one that kind of is the maestro to all of that. I got to make sure everybody else eats, make sure our team runs smoothly. And then obviously winning is what you want to do at every level, whether it's the NBA, you could be in elementary school, you want to win the game. This is what you're taught from early level. So, win as many games as possible. And obviously the biggest goal will be to win a national championship, and Kentucky is one of those places where you get the opportunity to not only play in those big games that get you to March Madness and stuff like that, but you're expected to win those big games. So, I think it's a pressure, but it's a privilege to have such a big stage where you can really show your worth.
Well, you got a busy weekend coming up. A couple quick things to get you out of here. What is Kentucky getting in Acaden Lewis? Just what is the best version of you that you kind of expect fans to see next season at Rupp Arena?
On the court, at least, I kind of use the word a playmaker, electric, whatever you want to say. I just make plays. I want to get people out their seats. I want to make people happy, make people want to come to games. Because at the end of the day, basketball is a game, so I want people to really come and want to enjoy it. I'm wearing 55 because of Jason Williams. He entertains me, so I want to do the same for the fans. And off the court, just a cool dude. I don't really do too much, but philanthropy wise, I like to give back. I like to help out around the community, do stuff like that. So, you're gonna see me a lot at other games and supporting field hockey or whatever it is, football. Just supporting BBN.
Where have you seen your game grow the most for the last, your explosion this summer? Just why, what led to that, and just kind of where have you seen your game grow the most?
I would say consistency and strength just in my body. I think the biggest thing that anyone struggles with in any sport is always consistency, especially when you're playing such a high level like EYBL on a nationally ranked high school team. It's hard to consistently produce and show why you're valuable. But this summer, I think I did a really good job, whether it was events or school ball or EYBL sessions. It wasn't many games where you could point out he didn't play well, he didn't play hard, he didn't lead. So I think I did a great job with that. And then just this summer, I was in the weight room a lot. I'm up to 195-ish now. And I think I started the summer around 175-ish. So, just throughout the summer, I got a lot stronger. And I think that allows you to, one, not get hurt, which is important because the best ability is availability. And then on top of that, you get to be a little more physical and just impose your will on games. My conditioning is really good as well. So, I think just strength and consistency were the two things that really influenced my blow up.
We'll get you out of here with this. One final message to BBN, just how excited are you to join such a prestigious family and, have them welcome you with open arms?
Man, couldn't be more excited, to be honest. I know a lot of people say my name is the Pope, so I guess the Pope is coming to play for the Pope, which is pretty cool to me. That was actually one of the first things Pope said to me as well. What are we doing? We got to make this happen. So, man, the Pope coming to the Pope. So that's all I got.
And I do got it real quick. Where did that come from? Why the Pope?
My uncle Larry, he called me the Pope one day, and I didn't really know what it meant. So I asked him. He said, "You bless the people you watch." So he called me the Pope, and it's kind of stuck. I was like, I like it. It's kind of cool. So I just kind of ran with it.
Well, Acaden, you have a weekend of celebration. You go enjoy your family, go enjoy your friends, man. You've earned this moment, but BBN definitely welcomes you, and we're looking forward to catching up a little bit more.
For sure, appreciate you, Jack.
All right, appreciate you, Acaden.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Acaden Lewis is a Kentucky Wildcat. Let's get out of here real quick. One last message from our friends at Club Blue. Club Blue is the official collective partner of the University of Kentucky. Club Blue was founded by UK fans strictly to support the NIL efforts at the University of Kentucky. Unlike most collectives, 100% of subscriber money and 100% of donor money goes directly to NIL. Club Blue charges no fees. Club Blue subscribers receive some amazing benefits like invitations to special events, meet and greets with UK athletes, signed merchandise, monthly giveaways, ticket giveaways, Club Blue merch, and more. Subscribe today at www.clubbluenil.com. You get to pick which sport you want to support when you sign up. Choose your sport and support with Club Blue. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Congratulations to Acaden Lewis on becoming a Kentucky Wildcat. We will see you next time.